the compensation plan, with improvements of the client, with the new product. How are you doing with your residual income? Okay, let me find out one thing. Everybody here is a rep? Who's not? Okay? Please, no heart attacks. Okay? If anybody has a problem with the heart, leave the room. Okay? Okay? So I was having dinner, and I said, how are you doing with your residual income? He said, well, the last 3 months, around $173,000 a month. You know, I was having the salad and went, ugh, nearly had a heart attack. The one who had a heart attack was me. And then the second question, we were talking, you know, having dinner, and he said, well, you know what I did now? I'm just having a lot of fun in ACN. He said, I just bought a plane. The one who had the heart attack was Bash. You guys know he loves planes, right? So he was talking to us, saying that he just bought a plane with 25 places to take the people to the conventions, to the top producers, and have weekends with them. You know, what does that mean? We're talking about a business long term, right or wrong. We're talking about something that in the future, if you do a good job, you'll make a lot of money, right? But not every month, every year, all your life. And so when we're talking about ACN, we're talking about a dream, but a dream that can be a reality. Now, let's talk a little bit about the new products. You know why? Because I love to talk about the new products in the States, because I know later they come to Europe, right or wrong. So we're going to talk about Mission, okay? They just brought out a new product in mobiles. It's called Flash. Flash is the ACN mobile product. And you know what it is? It's a mobile that you can choose whatever you want, and you can make your own phone bill, whatever you want. I mean, you can say, I want SMS, this amount, I want those minutes, I want this, I want that, and you mix it up, and that's the product you have. And it pays you all the time while the client is active, and also you don't have to buy a handset, and also you don't have to see if the person has a problem with the credit rates, because it's ACN's product. So I was thinking, in the near future, we're going to have that here too. Isn't that exciting? So the other thing they said is they brought out a security product that has to do with, I don't know how you say that in English, domotica. You know that you can organize the things in your house? Yeah? Domotica, I don't know how you say. Well, you know, when you have a security product, you have like a little board that when you go home, you can touch the things and you can say, I want the oven on, I want the lights off. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so they brought that product that you can organize it with your iPhone and with your computer, and you can see what's going on at home. I mean, it does everything. The only thing it doesn't do is bring breakfast home to your bed, right? But the rest, it does everything. And it was the most you had to pay for it was $60. So I thought it was just absolutely fantastic. And more things. So, you know, what we're talking about is when I started in ACN 6 years ago, we only had fixed lines. You know what that means? Angeline, that's right there, and I, when we started, we had to qualify with 8 clients. Fixed line clients, 1 point each client. You know what's coming now? Every time we have a new product, and we had launched in Spain, you know, the application and the ATA, the new adapter. You know, the next day those products were out, we had 15,000 new customers. You know why? Because we had the network. So this is what we have in our hands. We have an incredible opportunity, but it has to do, it relates to directly with the amount of people you have in your business. But let me tell you a little bit why some people are very successful and some are not. There's 2 kinds of people. You know, there are the overachievers and the superachievers. You know the difference? We're going to talk about how you can achieve the best results in ACN. And it has to do with what you're doing every day. Let me ask you a question. Do you think you work hard or you work long? A lot of people think they're working very hard, you know? But you know the difference between one and another? Working hard means doing the that you don't like that's going to give you a good end result. And working long means being all the time doing something no productive. When we start in this business, you know what happens? We like to talk to people, right? But how much time do we waste taking phone calls, talking, having a coffee, walking around? Right or wrong? Let me ask you, what are the things you want to achieve here? Because the key in this business has to do with your productive work. Work that for you is hard right now, but will give you the results that you want later on. Let's see, what are your priorities? What are you doing every day so that your business is working? Now, are you talking to people? Are you calling? Are you following up? Are you sharing the products? Do you believe in the products? Are you excited about the products? Because if you're excited about the products like Sergio is, he shares the products, right or wrong. And we are talking about residual incomes. But what are you doing every day that's productive? If I tell you that you can measure your productivity, I can tell you a simple thing. You can take a clock, and every time you're doing something really productive, you measure it. You'll find out after 1 day how many minutes of productive work you're doing. Let me give you an example. I don't know about you. Who's in Facebook here? Wow. What happens when we go home? When we start being a little bit successful in ACN, what do? First thing we do is we look our downlines. And sometimes we look at it 5 times a day. Like it's going to change, right? Okay? Like the funds are going to change. They're only updated twice a day, right? But we are so excited, we want to control everything. We start being controllable. We start looking at that. What do? And then the second thing we do is we look at Facebook, right? We send a message, and we're waiting to see the answer. If somebody loves us, right? If somebody gives us an answer, to feel good, right? But is that productive? We're talking about doing our own business. And you know what our own business is? Sharing the opportunity. But how do we share the opportunity? We have to have the right attitude. Let me tell you one thing. ACN is an opportunity of changing people's lives. Do we understand that? Are we proud of it? Or are we trying to convince people to start in the business? I see a lot of reps, when they start in the business, they say, oh, let me see how many people I can recruit. This is the wrong thing. We're not here to recruit people. We're here to offer an opportunity that's right here, and we'll see if that person qualifies for that opportunity. Because if you have to convince somebody to start in the business, you have to convince them to make the climb. You have to convince them to come to the meetings. You have to convince them to recruit. And what is that energy that you have inside? Goes away with a person who doesn't really